Okay, so let's talk about abstracts.
Right.
You know those things that we always seem to leave to the last minute when we're like submitting a paper?
Yeah.
I bet a bunch of you out there are thinking like,
Yeah.
do these even matter? If someone's really interested, they'll read the whole paper, right?
That's a pretty common misconception, actually.
Really?
Abstracts are like really important. They're
Okay.
they're like movie trailers for the research world, basically.
Oh, interesting.
People are really busy and they're always looking at a ton of different articles,
Right. Yeah.
looking for the ones that are the most relevant to their work.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So you're saying that the abstract is like often the first impression someone has of your research?
Yeah.
Sometimes the only one.
Exactly. It's your chance to like grab their attention and convince them.
Oh, wow.
Your work is actually worth their time.
Okay, I'm starting to see why we shouldn't just like slap these together at the last minute.
Yeah.
But let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
For those who might not be familiar, what is an abstract?
So think of it as like a mini paper.
Okay.
It's usually between 150 and 300 words.
Gotcha.
And it gives readers a snapshot of the research.
Okay.
And it does two main things.
Okay.
First, it helps journal editors decide if your work is right for their publication.
Right.
And second, it gives a standalone summary
Okay.
for those who just don't have the time to read the full paper.
So it's like a gatekeeper, A&D, a sneak peek, all in one
Yeah.
tiny little package.
Exactly.
Well, no pressure, right?
And that's why getting it right is so important.
Right.
You've put so much time and effort into this research.
Yeah.
This is your chance to like showcase its value, make
Yeah.
sure people actually read it.
Okay. I'm convinced abstracts deserve way more respect.
Yes.
But how do we write a good one? Where do we even start?
Well, a good abstract has 4 key elements.
Okay.
You need to start by clearly stating your research question.
Okay.
Or the problem that you're addressing. What are you trying to figure out and why does it matter?
So start strong. Grab the reader's attention from the first sentence.
Yes.
Got it. What's next?
Next, you briefly describe your methods.
Yeah.
How did you approach the research?
Right.
Did you conduct surveys? Run experiments? You're giving the reader just enough information to understand how you went about answering your question.
So it's like showing your work, but like in a super concise way.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then this is the most important part.
Okay.
You share your results.
Okay.
What did you find?
Right.
Were there any surprises?
Yeah.
Be specific
Okay.
and highlight the key findings that support your conclusion.
So this is where we like show off the meat of the research, right?
Yes.
Like the exciting discoveries.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And finally, you wrap it up
Okay.
by discussing the implications of your work.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways?
Gotcha.
How does your research contribute to the field? What new questions does it raise? Don't leave the reader hanging.
Right.
Explain why your findings matter.
So it's not just about like stating what we found. It's about explaining the so what.
Right.
Like why should anyone care?
Exactly. Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Your abstract should answer the who, what, why, how.
Okay.
And so what of your research?
Yeah.
But it has to be clear,
Right.
concise,
Yeah.
and compelling.
Okay. I'm starting to get the picture,
Good.
but packing all that information into just a few hundred words is pretty daunting.
It is.
Any tips on actually writing the thing?
Of course. One of the biggest things to remember is to be concise.
Okay.
Every word needs to earn its place.
Right.
Avoid unnecessary details and get straight to the point.
No rambling allowed.
Exactly. You also want to use clear, straightforward language.
Okay.
Even if your research topic is complex,
Right.
your abstract should be understandable to a broad audience.
So avoid the jargon. Make it accessible.
Yes,
Even to people who aren't experts in my field.
exactly. Remember, you want to draw people in,
Right.
not scare them away with technical terms.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Any other writing tips to help make our abstracts shine?
Write actively and specifically.
Okay.
Instead of saying, this paper investigates,
Uh-huh.
say something like, we measured the effect of X on Y.
Okay.
Strong verbs.
Yeah.
Concrete examples to bring your research to life.
Okay.
And remember, this is just as important
Okay.
in an abstract as in the full paper.
That makes sense. It's all about making a strong impression.
Yes,
Even in a short space.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of strong impressions,
Uh-huh.
let's talk about a few common abstract pitfalls.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever read an abstract
Oh, yeah.
and you're just like, what did I just read?
All the time.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're so vague, I have no idea what the research is even about.
That's a really common mistake.
Is it?
People try to be so general
Yeah.
that they end up saying nothing of substance. So instead of saying something like, this paper explores the impact of social media,
Right.
be specific about your focus.
Okay.
Did you look at the impact of social media on teenagers' sleep habits?
Uh-huh.
Or the relationship between social media use and political polarization?
Right.
You have to tell the reader exactly what you studied.
So no beating around the bush.
Exactly.
Get straight to the heart of the matter.
Exactly. Another mistake is overloading the abstract with background information.
Okay.
Remember, the focus should be on your contribution to the field.
Right.
Not a history lesson.
Right. Save the deep dive into the literature for the actual paper.
Yes. The abstract should highlight what you did and what you found.
Okay.
Now, here's a mistake that can be a real deal breaker.
Okay.
Forgetting to mention your results.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
Isn't it?
You read the whole thing expecting to find out what they discovered.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
It happens more often than you might think.
Really?
People get so caught up in describing their methods that they forget to share the most important part, the outcomes
Oh, wow.
of their research.
Okay, I'm making a note of that one. Don't bury the lead.
Yes.
Make those findings shine.
And finally, don't make the mistake of leaving out the implications of your work.
Okay.
You've told the reader what you did and what you found.
Right.
But why should they care?
Right. What's the bigger picture?
Exactly.
How does this research, contribute to our understanding of the world?
Exactly. Whether it's suggesting new avenues for research,
Right.
informing policy decisions,
Okay.
or challenging existing assumptions.
Yeah.
You need to explain the so what of your findings.
So it's about connecting your research to a larger context
Exactly.
and making it relevant to the reader.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about showing the reader why your research matters.
Right.
And, all this talk about clarity,
Yeah.
concision, and impact reminds me of another important tip.
What's that?
Don't underestimate the power of revision.
Oh, you mean like actually going back and editing our work? Yes. I'll admit, sometimes I'm tempted to just hit submit and be done with it.
I know, it can be tempting.
Yeah.
But trust me, taking the time to revise your abstract can make a world of difference.
Really?
A fresh pair of eyes can often catch things that you might have missed.
Oh.
Ask a colleague, a mentor,
Right.
or even someone outside your field to read it over and give you feedback.
So it's like having a trusted editor
Exactly.
for this tiny but mighty piece of writing.
Because even though it's short,
Yeah.
the abstract has to do a lot of heavy lifting.
I'm starting to think that writing a good abstract is almost like an art form.
It is.
It requires so much thought and strategy
It does.
to condense all these complex ideas into such a short space.
You're absolutely right. It's like distilling a complex symphony
Wow.
into a single memorable melody.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And now that we've covered the mechanics
Yeah.
of writing an effective abstract,
Right.
I think it's worth taking a step back
Okay.
and thinking about why these matter so much
Yes.
in the grand scheme of things.
In the big picture.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Research is all about
Yeah.
pushing the boundaries of knowledge,
Right.
exploring new ideas, and finding solutions to complex problems.
Uh-huh.
But if those discoveries remain hidden away in these really dense academic papers,
Right.
they can't have the impact they deserve.
So are you saying that abstracts are kind of like the key
Yes,
that unlocks the door to a wider audience?
exactly. They bridge the gap
Okay.
between specialized knowledge and the people who can benefit from it.
Wow.
Other researchers, policymakers, practitioners,
Yeah.
and even the general public.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like a form of science communication.
It is.
Abstracts aren't just summaries. They're tools for sharing knowledge
Yes.
and sparking new ideas.
I love that way of putting it. And when they're done well,
Yeah.
abstracts can have this ripple effect.
Really.
They can inspire collaborations, fuel innovation,
Wow.
and ultimately lead to real-world change.
Wow. I'm really starting to see abstracts in a whole new light.
Mhm.
It's not just about checking a box.
No.
It's about making your research matter.
And that ultimately is what makes research truly rewarding.
Absolutely.
Knowing that your work has the potential
Yeah.
to go beyond the confines of academia
Right.
and make a positive impact on the world.
I love that.
Yes.
Thanks for helping us unlock the secrets of mastering the abstract.
Of course.
Listeners, I hope this deep dive has inspired you to approach your next abstract
Yeah.
with a renewed sense of purpose and maybe even a little bit of excitement.
Yes.
Remember, it's not just a summary.
No,
It's a gateway to sharing your knowledge and making your research matter.
it is.
Until next time, happy writing.
Happy writing.